United Indians of all tribes, we do naloxone training and opioid overdose identification. So if people want to come out and learn more, we got one coming up on June 25th at the Beacon Hill Library. That'll run from 4:30 to 5:30. If you're interested and want to learn more or want to request maybe for us to come out and do some training for your organization, our group, send an email to info@unitedindians.org.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Jermaine Jackson, producer here at Daybreak Star Radio, the only station indigenizing the airwaves. And today I have a special guest with me. I have Scott Pinkham here, and he is the Equity Program Director at United Indians of all Tribes, and he's going to be talking with us about overdose prevention. Scott, how's it going?
It's going good, Jermaine. Thank you for having me come on here and to talk about this. As I said, my name is Scott Pinkham. I am Nez Perce Nimipu. My Nez Perce name is Samamoch, which roughly translates to black spot going away. But it's definitely a pleasure to be with you today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for that introduction. So let's go ahead and talk about overdose prevention. What are signs of opioid overdose?
Typically, if someone's experienced an opioid or fentanyl overdose, you're going to come across them. They're not going to be breathing properly. There's some abnormal breathing, or they're not even breathing at all. They could be snoring, gurgling sounds could be coming from them. They could be in an awkward position, like they're passed out, unconscious, laying with their arms in weird positions, their body just in a bad position. And also, if you can look at their skin and just see if it's cold, sweaty, or discolored. Some people look for gray or blue color, but with many of our people of color, that's going to be hard to tell. So you want to see if there's anything that isn't consistent with their skin complexion as far as their skin condition. Mm-hmm. And if you come across someone that is that, you want to first try to wake them up. Hey, see if you can call their name, if you know their name, or just say, hey, buddy, wake up. And if they don't respond, another option to do is a sternum chest rub, where you take your knuckles and just rub their sternum kind of hard. And if that doesn't wake them up or get them responsive, then yes, it's most likely an overdose.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of gave the audience and myself some options to do if someone is suspected of overdosing. Are there any other things that we can do, or if we come across someone that might have overdosed?
Yeah, once you see that they have overdosed or you identified the overdose, we've been taught to use an acronym called I CARE. So the first I is identify. Okay, yes, the person isn't responding. You tried to wake them up. They're not breathing correctly. So now you want to say, I need to go to the next step after you identify. And the I CARE acronym, C is to call 911. You want to make sure you activate the EMT system to get some professional trained EMTs on site to take care of the person. And then the next step is to administer naloxone. This is a drug, not a drug, but a medication to help block those receptors that opioids will attach to someone and hopefully bring them back to consciousness where they can start breathing on their own. I have some containers here of naloxone. It's a Narcan is the brand name, but naloxone is actually what it's referred to as. So you can come across other types.
Okay.
But once you administer that, you want to do then is rescue breaths. They typically, when they're overdosing, it's because they're not breathing. You want to make sure they get oxygen, so you need to do some rescue breaths.
So rescue breaths. So just kind of, so we have I CARE. So identify. C is call 911. A is administer the Narcan.
Narcan.
And then R is
rescue breaths.
Rescue breath.
Yeah. And then you may have to repeat that. You want to give them rescue breaths for about 20 minutes, and it's usually 2 minutes, not 20 minutes. It's usually going to be 5 good rescue breaths and pumping the chest as hard. You don't have to you don't have to pump the chest because you just want to give rescue breaths. This is not CPR that should be given a person because typically their heart may be beating already, but it's just their lack of oxygen. You need to get them breathing again.
Yeah.
If they don't respond within 2 minutes, you may want to give them another dose of Narcan and naloxone. And to give that Narcan naloxone, it's a nasal spray, actually, that you insert into their nose. It's a plunger, and once you get it into their nose, you just push the plunger to insert the naloxone. And it's a 1 dose per plunger, and It may, again, take about 2 minutes for that to take effect. Once they do start breathing again or regain consciousness, the next one is to ensure safety.
Okay, ensure safety.
Identify, call 911, administer naloxone, rescue breaths, and that may need to be repeated, rescue breaths, and then administer another dose of naloxone until they come back. But once they get revived, then you want to stay with them and ensure safety. Let them know, hey, I came across you, you weren't responding, I gave you some naloxone, 911's been called, help is on the way. And they may fear like, I got a book, because I'm afraid I might get busted for drug possession. But Washington State does have a Good Samaritan law where the person providing assistance and the person that may have overdosed won't face any drug possession charges. So you may want to assure them that, hey, don't worry, I called 911, you won't get prosecuted for any drug possession, so you stay here until help arrives.
Okay.
If that person decides to leave, said, no, I'm going to book them, get out of here, it's suggested that you watch which direction they left. Kind of make a mental note of the description, so once EMTs do arrive, you can say, yes, the person decided to leave, but they went in that direction. Because with opioid and fentanyl, even though you may revive them, they may go over to overdose again.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to make sure if they've left that, hey, the EMTs know, let's go look for this person, because they may pass out and then possibly die if they're not with someone else can then administer that.
Okay.
For that, Narcan, naloxone, you may not have it with yourself. If you come across someone, you may have to ask them, does anybody have Narcan, naloxone? And fortunately, I'm seeing more people are actually carrying it.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you may be in a position, hey, someone overdosed, and if you don't have it, ask a bystander, does anybody have Narcan, naloxone? If they do, great.
Okay. I have a few questions. So where can I get the naloxone or the Narcan?
You can get them on various websites to go search. In King County, you can search for King County Harm Reduction vending machines, and it'll give you some locations. I think there's like 3 in Seattle, 2 in Kent. That's currently on their site that you can go there, and they're vending machines that are free. And you just, say, hey, I want some Narcan, and you can take it with you. You can go to various community agencies. They may have a supply. Yeah. You can order them yourselves by going online, and many of your medical insurance would probably cover that cost. People on Apple Care or Medicare actually can get it for free, right? No care, no cost. United Indians of all tribes. We also offer some trainings to provide that, and people that attend will give some Narcan as long as our supply lasts. But in addition to the Narcan, we'll give face shields for the rescue breaths, fentanyl test strips, because sometimes that's how people overdose out there, taking other drugs that they don't know is laced with fentanyl.
Yeah. So I have a weird question. So should the people administering the Narcan, should they take pictures or should they not take pictures? Or is that something that's up to the person?
I wouldn't suggest taking pictures. There'd be no need for taking pictures. You just want to make sure you're there to encourage the person that's hopefully been revived. Hey, I'm here. You're safe now. Help is on the way. Just to be there to support them, because oftentimes people that are using drugs are doing it for a particular reason. They may have become addicted because of an injury. They're taking some painkillers, or it's their survival method because of trauma that they've experienced. So you don't want to add to that by give them a stigma. Oh, you're a drug user. You want to say no. Hey,
I was kind of thinking for maybe like to show the police or something, but that your response makes sense though.
No worried about kind of showing any evidence to police because you activate the EMT system. So and again, the Good Samaritan law, you don't have to worry about trying to prove. Oh yes, this was. I'm just here to provide some help because you're there to save lives.
Yeah, exactly. So, what if I use this Narcan on someone that isn't overdosing?
Yeah. So that's a good thing about the naloxone. It won't provide any harm. If the person isn't overdosing, you did go through it. It turns out the person was a heavy sleeper. The naloxone won't impact them in any physical means. So it's a safe drug. It won't cause any harm. And again, one of the things we want to emphasize is that the goal of come across someone that's overdosing is to get them breathing again. Because we need to get that oxygen flowing through their system again. And hopefully you can be on site as long as need to, doing those rescue breaths until the EMTs come on site. The EMTs can take over for you.
Okay, nice. So I got just a couple more questions for the listeners out there. So, what can they do if they suspect someone in their life struggling with substance use disorder?
First thing I'd say is that don't be too judgmental. Don't be
Yeah.
quick to judge them. You want to be there to support them and say, hey, you're maybe going through something that you're using drugs to help deal with the pain, to overcome the trauma that you're going through. There are support services out there for them. Programs such as the Native Resource Hub.
Yep.
Someone can call and get in touch with them. Hey, I need some support to deal with something I'm going through, and they can direct them to those resources. There's the 988 and then press 4 number where you can get, that's a 24/7 crisis lifeline that people can call and get some support there. There's also 4 Native Lives. That provides some very good resources on opioid addiction, overdose prevention, and resources for families and friends. Hey, how can I support someone that's going through this, tragedy, this trauma? This is a crisis, and I want to try to destigmatize it so that people will start coming seeking help. Because oftentimes users will think, I don't want to go ask for help. Someone's going to think lowly of me because they're going to find out that I'm using drugs to deal with whatever it is. But I feel like that was their survival technique, and we need to help them move on from surviving to thriving.
Yeah.
And so provide resources. Just be there to listen. Sometimes that's what people may need. And if no one's there that seem to care, then that's probably where they start turning to drugs and that kind of method to deal with their problems. And I want to see that, hey, you have a strong community. Our Native community needs to be strong.
Yep.
And we need to show that, yes, we're going to come through this. We've been through a lot of trauma of what was inflicted upon us, but we're still here.
Nice. Well, I hope this was impactful to all of you out there. This was definitely educational for me as well. Thank you, Scott. Thanks for joining me. And any final words?
Yeah, just want to share that, again, United Indians of all Tribes, we do naloxone training and opioid overdose identification. So if people want to come out and learn more, we got one coming up on June 2nd on the University of Washington campus. That's going to be primarily targeting the University of Washington First Nations students. And then we have one that's going to be open to the broader community on June 25th at the Beacon Hill Library. That'll run from 4:30 to 5:30. If you're interested and want to learn more or want to request maybe for us to come out and do some training for your organization, our group, send an email to info@unitedindians.org.